Audacious was an understatement. A group of partisans fighting for the Ukrainian cause invaded a small part of Russia. It was like something from a film, so they brought cameras, because that was part of the point. The narrative as a weapon. Plucky band of paramilitaries take the war to Russia. A story beamed around the world. A story designed to embarrass. A story designed to confuse. And today the Russian Defense Ministry released these pictures of their response, the counterattack. Their spokesman said, quote, 70 Ukrainian terrorists were liquidated, 4 armoured vehicles and 5 trucks were destroyed. But that all said, there are reports this evening that partisan fighters are still operating inside Russia along the border. And if Russian territorial integrity has been compromised, that means Russian troops have to go there to sort it out.
If they demonstrate that the Russian border is porous and undefended, Russia has to correct that. It has to move troops in from somewhere else, and that somewhere else is likely to be along the defensive lines that are preparing for this Ukrainian counteroffensive that's been awaited for so long.
We already knew there were Russians fighting on the Ukrainian side, and they fall into various categories. Are you from Russia?
Ви з Росії?
На жаль, так.
Unfortunately, yes.
People like Vladimir Grotskov, who we met last year, a commander in the regular Ukrainian army. As well as people like him, there's also groups of Russians fighting parallel to the regular army, but aligned to the Ukrainian cause, like the Freedom of Russia Legion and the Russian Volunteer Corps involved in yesterday's attack. Here's one of them rebranding a Russian armoured vehicle they stole yesterday. Their relationship with the regular Ukrainian army is opaque, and there are potential disadvantages here for the Ukrainians. Launching an attack inside Russia could frighten Western allies, for example, nervous about escalation. Then some of the characters involved. This man on the left, for example, is Alexei Levkin, a well-known neo-Nazi.
There's absolutely no doubt that Russia will make the most of people with far-right leanings being identified among these units that have gone into Russia itself. Of course, it plays into the story that Russia has been telling the world about trying to eliminate Nazis in Ukraine.
The final category of Russians fighting for Ukraine, these men, local partisans living in Russia, told us they've no truck with the ultra-far right, just want to bring down Putin's regime from the inside. They spoke to us exclusively today.
We mainly hit logistics, infrastructure and military facilities, things like railway tracks, military enlistment offices and substations. We rarely target troops. We get weapons and explosives from the black market. It's grown a lot in the border areas since the special military operation began. Also, we don't need a lot to damage a railway track or set fire to a transformer. We improvise.
Improvisation. Ukraine's most effective weapon so far against an enemy that struggles to adapt. In an improvised ceremonial hall today, close to the front line, President Zelensky visited the troops. Medals for a military that has rewritten the hybrid warfare playbook.